Hi, my name is Bridget, and I am from New York. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. When I was born, my dad used to take me to the aquarium all the time because that's where he worked as a marine biologist. Hanging out in Dad's aquarium made me fall in love with all the animals. And one day when I was around 7 years old, my dad took me into the water to meet Tulip. She was a dolphin, and she touched my nose with her long mouth.
Dad, I think she likes me.
I think so too, sweetie.
You know, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I loved my dad so much. I also had a great mom too, but she was always out working since she was a top lawyer in the country. My life was perfect until I came home from school one day and found my mom crying. What's wrong, Mom?
Bridget, I don't think your dad is coming back.
What do you mean he's not coming back?
His job called and they sent out some lifeguards to search for research crew they sent out at sea, and they can't find him.
Mom broke down again, and I wanted to comfort her, but I was also breaking down, so I ran to my room and turned on my rock music up loud. This was my way of ignoring the facts. 2 years went by, and my dad still never returned, and I became the geek who covered her face with her hair and walked around with a hoodie and books. And then, in my senior year, the school wanted to take us on a 1-week trip to the Atlantic Ocean, but my mom refused to let me go.
I'm sorry, Bridget. I already lost your father to the ocean, and I'm not losing you too.
But Mom, this is my opportunity to explore the best sea creatures in the world. Mom stood her ground and stuck to her decision, but when I told my biology teacher, Mrs. Jam, she immediately came to my house since I was her top student and she adored me to bits.
Hi, ma'am. I came to speak to you about Bridget. If it's about that trip to the Atlantic Ocean, my answer is no.
Mrs. Jam was a very persistent person, and somehow she managed to convince my mom. I was so excited! The last time I felt this happy was when Dad took me camping.
Please stay safe.
I will, Mom. She hugged me tightly and almost didn't let go. The ship that we sailed on was huge, and on the first night, the kids in my school organized a party on the boat. But I didn't have many friends, so I sat by myself next to the edge of the ship, reading a book, until suddenly I spotted a dolphin. Hey there, little guy. I leaned over to touch him, and then all of a sudden I toppled over, almost falling into the sea, until the hottest guy in school caught me and pulled me up. His name was Shane, and this was my first time being this close to him.
Wow. What were you doing at the edge of the boat?
I saw a dolphin that I couldn't miss.
Haha, okay, that's cool. Just don't fall in again unless you want to be swimming with the dolphins tonight. And how come you're out here alone when everybody is having a good time at the party?
I just wanted some fresh air. A gush of breeze lifted my hair from my face.
Wow, you must be a Vogue model.
My face turned red, blushing at what he said. And then this girl, Jessica, approached us. She was one of the popular cheerleading girls at school with a massive attitude.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
She clung onto Shane and smirked at me.
What are you doing with her?
He wanted to talk to me. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, yeah. He is my boyfriend.
Well, maybe you should write your name on his forehead then. That way we will all know that he belongs to you. Shane looked at me, speechless. I was very quiet in school, but not stupid. When the snobby girls gave me an attitude, I gave it right back. After that scene, the teachers called it a timeout, which meant we all had to go to bed. And while we were fast asleep, there was a sudden bang, and then screaming.
Everyone, we need to get off the ship. The ship is sinking.
When I put my feet on the floor, there was already a puddle of water. I ran with all the other kids and we got onto a lifeboat and rowed the whole night until we came to an isolated island.
Oh my gosh, my hair is so damaged.
Jessica and her crew of cheerleaders looked like recycled Barbie dolls without their makeup. And then Shane suddenly appeared in front of me.
You still look the same. I guess natural beauty pays off in the end.
Shane, come here. I need you.
Jessica was such a control freak. She wanted Shane to hug her because she felt emotional, and him just popping up and randomly calling me beautiful was also a little strange, but I wasn't complaining. I looked up at the sky and saw that the clouds were heavy, and I remembered my dad showing me how to build shelter with banana leaves and sticks. And when I started gathering the sticks and leaves together, Jessica started mocking me.
What on earth are you doing?
Building shelter. Do you want to help?
I would never do something so degrading like that. Because I'm a lady and ladies like me could never do a maid's job.
So we're stuck out here in the middle of nowhere, and all you can think of is your lady self. I guess you're not only selfish, but also very dumb.
Ha! How dare you? It's not like we're going to stay here forever. Oh wait, I forgot you finally made it home, where you can be all alone and live amongst the sea creatures. You're such a geek.
All her friends laughed. Then Mrs. Jam gave me a hand and Shane joined in.
This is actually a bright idea because it looks like a storm is caving in.
After we built the shelter, it didn't take long for it to start pouring down, and Jessica and her minions ran to the shelter. Wow! Looks like my geeky little shelter is now useful! Jessica smirked at me. Then she stood next to Shane, pulled him closer to her, and kissed him madly. A part of me did feel jealous, which I didn't understand since she was her boyfriend after all. Later that night, as we fell asleep, I had this strange dream about my dad. And then suddenly, I woke up and heard someone shouting in the woods. I bravely got up to see what it was, and then I screamed when someone touched my shoulder. Ah! Oh my gosh, Shane, what are you doing here?
I saw you get up. What are you doing out here?
I heard someone shouting. Did you hear that?
Yes, now be quiet.
We walked further into the woods until we reached a cave. We didn't have any torches, so we didn't go in. But when we turned around to go back, we were surrounded by some strange people who carried spears and dressed in animal fur. Oh my gosh, please don't hurt us! They poked us lightly with their spear and then took us to their campsite where we had to bow down before their chief. The chief pointed at me and then he asked his people to smell my hands as if they were about to eat me up. And then they tied me to a pole and started a fire. My heart pounded with so much fear. No, please! I taste like Marmite! Please don't eat me! Ah! Just as they were about to set fire to the pole, a man appeared.
Stop!
His face was covered with a beard, but I noticed his eyes. They were just like mine. Dad?
Bridget!
He cut me loose and hugged me tightly. Dad! I thought you were dead! We hugged each other, crying and smiling and feeling so overwhelmed. The strange people of the forest adored him because he saved them from pirates once, and ever since, they took care of him. How come you never came back?
I tried, but there's no way out of here. We're stuck here.
The strange people also let Shane go, and we slept in their campsite for a night. The next day, before we could go back to the rest of the kids, I woke up early in the morning to find a spot to pee. While searching for a spot not too far from the campsite, I suddenly came across a ship beached on shore. It was abandoned, so I went inside to check it out. Wow, we could actually get back home with this. While talking to myself, I felt an ice-cold sword on my cheek.
Hi there, little girl.
When I turned around, a tall, dirty man with a pirate hat stood before me, and then 3 other men joined him. I come in peace? As they tied me up, I wondered if maybe these pirates were just like the ones we watched on TV, so I tried my luck. If you let us use your ship, I can show you where the treasure is. They looked at each other, and then the captain came closer to me with his smelly breath.
Hi.
What does I mean?
Show us the treasure.
Only if you allow me and my schoolmates, plus my dad, to board this ship. They grouped together to discuss, and then they agreed. But when I took them to the campsite where my dad and Shane was, the pirates suddenly changed their minds when they saw my dad.
If that man is your dad, then no.
Dad, what did you do to them?
I just kind of exploded their camp with a little bit of dynamite.
Oh my gosh, Dad, that's dangerous!
Annabelle, are you sure about this? These pirates are not to be trusted. They've taken a lot from the people of the forest.
It's our only way to get back home. I got Mrs. Jam to talk to the Captain Pirate, and once again she worked her charm, and we all boarded their ship and sailed off to find their treasure. As I sat alone on the deck, Shane came and sat next to me.
If it wasn't for you, we'd all probably be stuck on that island, turning into savages.
Yeah, what can I say? I got it from my dad. I'm so happy I finally found him. Jessica then appeared in front of us.
Why is it every time I look for you, you're always with her?
Jessica, wait for me inside. I'll be there soon.
She rolled her eyes and stormed back inside. Why do you let her control you so much?
I don't know. I guess because she's so popular and I just got sucked into being that cool guy who gets the hot girl thing.
And do you like that?
No, if I could create my own school, I'd rather have more girls like you around.
He always had a way with words. 2 days passed, and we were still sailing. And then one day, as I stood up on the top of the ship, looking through binoculars, the Captain Pirates and all his mates surrounded me.
Where is our treasure?
We still need to get there.
Stop lying or else we will throw your dad in the ocean.
I didn't know what else to come up with, since there was no real treasure. And then to show me that they were serious, they pushed my dad into the ocean and I ran screaming, "Dad!" When I looked down, there was a shark, and then I jumped. Since my dad and I were really great swimmers, we swam underwater and stayed really still. This was something my dad taught me about sharks. They won't come near you if you remain still. After the shark swam away, Shane let down a rope and we climbed back up, but the pirates were not too happy. Okay, your treasure is in New York. Once we get there, I'll show you exactly where it is. The pirates gave us a chance, and when we eventually reached home, the kids screamed for joy and thanked me.
Bridget, you saved us.
Okay, enough of your happy screaming. We still want our treasure.
When they pointed their swords at me, the security at the harbor saw this and came to our rescue. The pirates were arrested and we were all safe. When Shane came to talk to me again, Jessica immediately pulled him away. But this time, he pushed her away.
I'm breaking up with you, Jessica.
What? You can't do that. Every boy in the school wants to date me.
No, we don't.
A few boys walked past her and laughed at her hair, now that she looked like she was electrocuted. Jessica screamed her lungs out, angry at Shane for breaking up with her, and stormed off. Shane turned and smiled at me.
I guess I'll see you at school.
Yeah, I felt butterflies in my stomach after he left, and then my dad touched my shoulder.
Are you ready to go home?
Yes, I can't wait. When we walked into our house, Mom cried and ran into Dad's arms.
Oh, how are you here?
Bridget saved me.
We all had a big family hug, and later that evening, while we were eating dinner, there was a knock on the door. Dad opened it and then said it was for me. When I went to see who it was Shane.
Hey,
Hey,
I was wondering if you would go to prom with me.
and you couldn't wait till tomorrow to tell me this?
No.
He looked so cute when he was shy, and this time I pulled him closer and kissed him. Of course, I'll be your date.